If you watch a ton of movies like I do, then you know navigating Prime Video is like trying to find your car in a mall parking lot on the day after Thanksgiving. You know it's there somewhere, but you're gonna need divine intervention to actually locate it. In this video, I'm gonna talk about all the worst things about Prime Video, things they need to fix, things that are just mind-bogglingly frustrating.
Did you just say mind-boggling?
Yeah, mind-boggling.
Considering the fact that I'm a professional movie hunter, that's what I do here on YouTube, I'm actually going to show you some tips along the way that should help you navigate Prime Video easier, making it easier to find good things to watch. So first things first, it's hard to find things on Prime Video, and there are several reasons for this. A big one being the fact that Amazon Prime is a hub. There's a lot of stuff going on there besides just the free things included with Prime. You've got new release rentals, premium channel subscriptions, Freevee is in the mix, and they even have free Prime movies that are ad-supported on a paid service to make things, even more confusing. So it's a muddled mess to begin with, and there's no clear way to filter or make things easier, making the user experience on Prime significantly different than Netflix and significantly more frustrating.
It's frustrating.
To somehow make things even worse, this is where they're really messing up. They don't clearly label any of this stuff. It is labeled, but you've got to have a keen eye to catch this. So, the next time you're browsing, be on the lookout for this, and here on the main page where you're about to view something, they even put it real small, close to the watch button. It's way too small in my opinion, but knowing where to look definitely helps.
That's what she said.
And I know from reading the comments, people get furious when they think they're clicking on a movie that's included, but it has ads. It's like putting decaf K-Cups in with your regular coffee. It's chaos. And since we're comparing them to Netflix, let's talk about their original movies, or lack thereof. They tend to have 1 or 2 per month, not many, and half of them at least are straight to streaming garbage. I mean, they will typically have 1 new release movie that's worth talking about each month, but I review everything that they're adding every single month, and it's typically like 1 new release movie. This past month, it was Blink Twice. Not necessarily a bad movie, but if that's the 1 new release you're giving us, come on, Prime. Why even bother?
I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
And then the way that their 5-star review system is set up, it makes it about as reliable as the 5-star reviews on Amazon products. I mean, they allow star ratings to appear with a movie with just 1 review, which is crazy to me that they don't wait for like at least 5, 10 to get like an average rating. That means you could have a good movie with 1 rating that has like 2 stars. It's totally absurd. I mean, hell, Nicolas Cage can explain this really well. Some of his better reviewed movies actually have relatively low ratings on Prime because they're kind of strange. And some of his lamest movies have got 4 stars or more. And it's not just with Nicolas Cage, it's like this all over the platform. Now, luckily, they do include the IMDb ratings. Now, I don't live and die by these, but they're a little more reliable in terms of, what you can expect from the movie than these 5-star ratings. They really ought to just get rid of them. They're basically a holdover from Amazon, and they're completely useless here on Prime. Speaking of Nicolas Cage, though, you can still pick up a St. Nicholas shirt. They're still available at DarrenVanDam.com, along with all these other designs.
Quick! Rewind it!
Now, maybe this is a nitpick, but fast-forwarding and rewinding on Prime is ridiculous. Skipping around a movie on Prime Video feels like trying to drag a couch up a spiral staircase. Sure, you'll get there eventually, but you're gonna question all your life decisions along the way. And it's even worse if you're using a touchy little Apple TV remote like I often am. One of my biggest gripes with Prime Video, though, is how they handle subtitles.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
So first off, they don't have dubbed versions, or at least they rarely do, whereas Netflix, they have a good English dub for most of their foreign language films. But when Prime does have a dubbed version, it is a separate item that you have to click on. You can't make these changes while watching the movie like you can on Netflix. So if you don't know to look, you're SOL, as they say.
What does that even mean nowadays?
But that's not even my big issue with the subtitles. My big problem is that they don't automatically have them on for foreign language films. I recommend a ton of foreign language movies here on this channel, and when I watch them on Prime, I have to pause the movie, select the audio options, pick English, close it out, start it again. Simple enough, I know, but then the next movie I watch automatically has the subtitles still turned on. So the next movie I watch, I have to pause it, open up the audio settings, turn the subtitles off, close the audio settings, restart the movie. I mean, even as I was recording my screen here, you can see I had trouble. I could not turn the subtitles off. I had to actually turn the movie off and jump back in. It's madness. Like, why do this to us? Like, why? This too, very difficult and cumbersome on that stupid Apple TV remote. Now, the next thing is a big one for me. It's gonna seem minor to some of you, but this one really grinds my gears. Prime Video always, without fail, obliterates the ending credits. And what I mean by that is, you've just finished like an emotional roller coaster or a masterpiece of filmmaking. The filmmakers have carefully selected music to go with the end credits to leave you with a particular mood at the end of their movie that they created. And within 1 second, Prime Video is just in your face. You want to watch Beast Games? You want to watch Step Brothers?
It's decided we're watching another one.
They kill the vibe of a movie every single time I watch it, and it needs to stop now. But seriously, guys, like, you could show like another thing to watch without completely interrupting the movie. Again. And as for the robust features they do have, X-Ray ID is
as useless as an asshole right here.
Everyone has a smartphone. If they care who an actor in a movie is, they can Google it without having to interrupt the movie. They can literally have it right there with the movie still going. It's advanced technology. It's literally recognizing people's faces and showing you who's in which scene. And half the time, I've activated it by accident, and then suddenly I'm learning things about the key grip on Mission Impossible 3 I never knew I needed to know. And then there's the content itself. Now, I already mentioned that they don't even really try when it comes to original movies. They kind of get lucky and have 1 or 2 a month. And it's typically stuff that would not do well in theaters at all.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
But almost every show they produce is designed to be the next big hit, which sounds great in theory, like it sounds like a good business choice, but it means that they lack variety. They have maybe 1 comedy special a month, so there's no good collection of those. No reality or competition shows to speak of until Beast Games, which came and went faster than Christmas.
No, hang on a minute.
They did have the Grand Tour, which was a fantastic show. I kind of forgot that when making these notes. I mean, it was arguably even better than Top Gear, so that's an exception to what I'm discussing here. That's a fantastic reality show. Sometimes I just want a dumb game show or a stand-up special. Not everything has to be this epic battle for humanity or some, award-winning drama. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. I do enjoy being able to watch the trailers before the movie, and I wish Netflix had that ability. I also like that you can create a hub. So I actually rent and purchase movies through Amazon, and I subscribe to some of the premium channels. Now, I subscribe to a bunch because of what I do here on YouTube, but through Prime Video, I'm actually really partial to Starz and Paramount Plus. I'll say AMC Plus and Shudder are also fantastic, but even with those premium channels, sometimes you don't get everything included with that channel when you go through Prime the way you would if you went straight to the source. Now, that is a problem that they have largely fixed. I haven't really run into that issue too much, but it is a downside to subscribing to things through Prime Video. Sometimes some titles will just be excluded. Again, a problem that's not really that big an issue anymore. It used to be, infuriating though. But one of Prime's best features is their selection. Even though they're lacking in a lot of areas, they do offer a unique and consistent selection of underrated movies and, really great hidden gem selections. As well as classic movies that are just highly rewatchable. They tend to have a lot of those available, whereas Netflix, only has a handful of movies like that I like to pick from time to time. But they make you dig for them. You've got to wade through a sea of content, a lot of it not appropriate for you because it's either got ads or it's paid. If you can filter through it properly though, there are great things to be found on Prime Video consistently.
At least that's good.
I will say, Prime Video does a good job of making recommendations based on your past watch history. So, go up to this section. You may have to do it on a desktop or laptop. It may not be available on mobile or on your smart TV. The interfaces are different on different devices, but if you can find this section, it's got a bunch of genres, which that is a great place to start. Not only are these broken out by genre, but when you click on them, they're broken out by subgenres. You can scroll and then you can choose to view all, and they actually give you a good listing, with the cream of the crop typically rising to the top of these lists. But in that genre section, I also recommend checking out the Made for You section or the Free to Me section. Now, Free to Me just includes all the Prime Video stuff. It is going to include the stuff with ads, but it's not going to include anything that you have to pay to rent. And if you use it like a hub like I do and you have other channel subscriptions, it's going to include things that are included with those in this Free to Me section as well, which is very handy. So rather than checking out the home screen, which is just like drinking from a fire hose, I do recommend you narrow things down by using that genre tab as a starting point, because Prime does do a better job of making recommendations based on your watch history than Netflix does. Speaking of which, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you're new here, you just found this channel because of this video, this is not typically the type of content I make here. My primary role here on Flick Connection is to connect you with interesting flicks you probably wouldn't have found otherwise. So if you like the idea of never running out of good movies to watch again, or never spending an hour trying to find something to watch again, definitely consider clicking the subscribe button. But that is the video. Thanks for checking out this special Prime Video pet peeve list, and you will see me on the next one.